And it is time. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hack Smarter Twitch channel or my YouTube page if you're watching this after the fact. It is good. It is an honor to have you hang out with me. We're going to keep going through TryHackMe, the Advent of Cyber Challenge. My name is Tyler, and I get to be your host today. I apologize for those of you who have joined the past couple of nights. I had Girl Scouts with my daughter today. We went to a movie, so I just got home, just got my daughter put to bed, and I'm ready to do some hacking. So thanks again for hanging out. Let's dive into this together. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Gonna continue with Parrot OS just to change it up and honestly challenge myself since I'm so used to Kali. So we'll do it in Parrot. And as usual, I have not looked at the challenge for today at all. I do not know what to expect, and I would encourage you to do this right alongside me. So get your VM pulled up, or maybe do it on your Windows computer. You can use the attack box if we need a VM, and let's do this together. S-Brand says, sounds good. Awesome, man. Good to have you back again, by the way. I think you're one of the ones who has been consistent with me on this journey thus far. We are at day 5, and so far we have not missed a day. So we're doing pretty good. Let's get TryHackMe pulled up. And my back's killing me, y'all. I like slept on it weird or something. It's been killing me all day. I feel like an old man. Apologize for those of you who are old men. I won't define what old is. I'll let you define it yourself. But I feel like you today. Let's get TryHackMe pulled up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my Christmas music and the countdown. I pulled up some Christmas music to play through it. I just can't play Christmas music during the stream because YouTube and Twitch get mad at me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed my Christmas music. I'm going to turn up my audio on my mic a little bit. I think it was turned down. I'm just looking at the audio levels on OBS. That looks a little bit better. Please let me know if it's too loud or like if it's so loud it distorts. But I think we're okay when I'm monitoring the audio levels on the side there. And I interrupted your weekly meeting. Good. I'm glad I interrupted. Usually I lead those, but I had Girl Scouts with my daughter, so I was not available. And then I got back and saw all of you in the meeting, so I decided to spam myself in the chat. So I'm glad I pulled you away from it. Routine sadness, I hope you're happier today. It is good to have you here as well. Let's see what our challenge is for today, shall we? Advent of Cyber 2022. What up, Check02X? Good to have you here, my friend. You know, the only thing I'm disappointed about is I'm streaming all of these and all these other people get like cool official TryHackMe things. TryHackMe. If anyone from TryHackMe is watching this, and next year, I want to be one of these guys who makes the videos. I can't sing a song like Husky Hacks though. I might be able to rap a song, but I can't sing one. All right, let's zoom in. Scroll down. We are at day 5, brute forcing. He knows when you're awake. All right, let's start the machine. We'll let that machine load up while we go through the task and see what we can learn. So Elf McSkitty and Elf Recon McRed asked, the song was great. Yeah, Husky Hacks, he wins the competition. John Hammond's the first day was really good as well, but the fact that the dude wrote an original song about Nmap port scanning with Christmas, I was blown away. He did such a good job. All right, Elf McSkitty asked Elf Recon McRed to search for any backdoor that the Bandit Yeti APT might have installed. If any such backdoor is found, we will learn that the bad guys might be using it to access systems on Santa's network. Learning objectives: learn about common remote access services, recognize a listening VNC port in a port scan, use a tool to find the VNC server's password, and connect to the VNC server using a VNC client. Sounds fun. Remote access services. You can easily control your computer system using the attached keyboard and mouse when you're at your computer. How can we manage a computer system that is physically in a different place? Magic, of course. The computer might be in a separate room, building, or country. The need for remote administration of computer systems led to the development of various software packages and protocols. We will mention 3 examples: SSH, RDP, and VNC. SSH stands for Secure Shell. It was initially used in Unix-like systems for remote login. It provides the user with a command line interface that can be used to execute commands. RDP stands for Remote Desktop Protocol. It is also known as Remote Desktop Connection or simply Remote Desktop. It provides a graphical user interface to access an MS Windows system. When using remote desktop, the user can see their desktop and use a keyboard and mouse as if sitting at the computer. Jumping over the chat, Check said you don't use OpenVPN. I do use OpenVPN. Yeah, I'm running this inside a Parrot, but I believe we have to launch this machine as probably the machine we're going to scan. I didn't launch the attack box. I just launched the machine in the task, but I prefer OpenVPN because I think using your own VM teaches you how to troubleshoot stuff. And usually I use Kali Linux, and I wanted to give myself the added challenge of using Parrot OS for these as well, just to put myself in an unfamiliar environment and learn some more. All right, VNC stands for Virtual Network Computing. It provides access to a graphical interface which allows the user to view the desktop and, optionally, control the mouse and keyboard. VNC is available for any system with a graphical interface, including MS Windows, Linux, and even Mac OS, Android, and Raspberry Pi. Based on our systems and needs, we can select one of these tools to control a remote computer. However, for security purposes, we need to think about how we can prove our identity to the remote server. Jumping over to the Twitch chat, Slendy Main. What up, Slendy? He said, how do you feel about Parrot over Kali? They're both good. I just like the way Parrot looks and the way Parrot feels. And my understanding is Parrot requires far less resources. So if you have a computer that's not as powerful, Parrot OS would work really good for that. Parrot also has some distributions that are meant to be installed directly on your system instead of as a VM. That would be a good route to take, I think. Kali Linux, I'm just more comfortable with because that's all I've used. So some of my short keys are Kali Linux specific. I have all my tools on my Kali Linux machine. But overall, I like Parrot. What I'm actually going to do when I'm done with the OSCP, which I take the OSCP this Thursday, I really hope I pass it so I can just be done with it. But when I'm done with the OSCP, what I'm actually going to do is get Ubuntu and get it in a VM, and I'm going to create my own attack box using Ubuntu as my base OS, and honestly ditch all the bloatware in both Kali and Parrot and make Tylerware, right? It's just going to be Ubuntu with the tools I like loaded into it, and I want to experiment with that. So I'm going to make my own attack box when I'm done with the OSCP. All right, authentication. Authentication refers to the process where a system validates your identity. The process starts with the user claiming a specific unique identity, such as claiming to be the owner of a particular username. Furthermore, the user needs to prove their identity. This process is usually achieved by one or more of the following. The first one, something you know, refers in general to something you can memorize, such as a password or a PIN, a personal identification number. Something you have refers to something you own, hardware or software, such as a security token, a mobile phone, or a key file. The security token is a physical device that displays a number that changes periodically, and something you are refers to biometric authentication, such as when using a fingerprint reader or a retina scan. Back to remote access services, we usually use passwords or private key files for authentication. Using a password is the default method for authentication and requires the least amount of steps to set up. Unfortunately, passwords are prone to a myriad of attacks. All right, attacking passwords. Drink of water. I ate too much popcorn watching that movie with my daughter, and so I feel like I still got popcorn in my throat. Attacking passwords. Passwords, did we just read that? No, okay, it's just going into it more. Yeah. Attacking passwords. Passwords are the most commonly used authentication methods. Unfortunately, they are exposed to a variety of attacks. Some attacks don't require any technical skills, such as shoulder surfing or password guessing. Other attacks require the use of automated tools. Something they don't mention. I remember, do you guys remember RuneScape back in the day? I remember doing this in RuneScape. Let me pull up Notepad. I think I also did this on Facebook back in the early days of Facebook. But I remember on RuneScape, I'd say, wow, RuneScape implemented this really cool feature. If you type your password, it comes up as, try it. Here's mine. I remember doing that in RuneScape, and people would type their password and then I'd log into their account. Totally unethical. That was my early days of hacking, but just silly stuff like that. I'm sure you guys in the Twitch chat have done similar things, but I remember doing that and people would fall for it. So TryHackMe doesn't mention the RuneScape hack. I should get a CVE connected to my name because of that one. All right. The following are some of the ways used in attacks against passwords. Shoulder surfing. Looking over the victim's shoulder might reveal the pattern they use to unlock their phone or the PIN code to use the ATM. This attack requires the least technical knowledge. Password guessing. Without proper cybersecurity awareness, some users might be inclined to use personal details such as birth date or daughter's name, as these are easiest to remember. Guessing the password of such users requires some knowledge of the target's personal details. Their birth year might end up as their ATM PIN code. I feel personally attacked. Just kidding. Dictionary attack. This approach expands on password guessing and attempts to include all valid words in a dictionary or word list. And finally, the brute force attack. This attack is the most exhaustive and time-consuming, where an attacker can try all possible character combinations. Let's focus on dictionary attacks. Let's do it. Over time, hackers have compiled one list after another of passwords leaked from data breaches. One example is RockYou's list of breached passwords, which you can find on the attack box at user share word list rockyou.txt. The choice of the word list should depend on your knowledge of the target. For instance, a French user might use a French word instead of an English one. Consequently, a French word list might be more promising. RockYou's word list contains more than 14 million unique passwords. Even if we want to try the top 5%, that's still more than 500,000. We need to find an automated way. I wonder if RockYou comes preloaded on Parrot OS. Should we find out? And Sean Zepp said, still rocking the antlers. I like it. Yeah, man. I actually went to Dollar General and I bought a Rudolph nose that lights up as well as a light up necklace. All right. I got home. My light up necklace broke like within a minute. And the Rudolph nose was apparently made for kids because they didn't fit me. So now my daughter's wearing the Rudolph nose. So all I'm stuck with is these antlers. Let's get connected to the TryHackMe VPN, which I think I have in my downloads. Yep, OpenVPN, Tenebrae 93 OVPN. There we go. And we'll open a new tab. Switch to root just because I like to have power. And now that we are in root, what was I doing? Oh yeah, locate rockyou.txt. Is it on here? Oh, it is. Oh, we have to, stupid zip stuff. All right. User, share, wordless, rockyou. Well, let's go here. And then I think it's just, is it just gunzip? There we go. Now we got rocky.txt. All right, back to this. Hacking an authentication service. To start the attack box on the attached VM, click on Start the Attack Box. We're not going to do that. We're going to use our own VM, but we did start the machine up there. Please give it a couple of minutes so you can follow along. On the attack box, we open a terminal and use Nmap to scan the target IP. The terminal window below shows that we have 2 listening services. Well, let's go ahead and do this ourselves. Let's get that. Let's pull up our awesome Parrot OS terminal. And how I like to do this is Nmap -a-, which is going to be, or -p-, is means all the ports, not necessary for this task, but if you're doing a box, especially OSCP type stuff, there's often services running an uncommon port. So if you just scan the most common ports, you're going to miss it. I can't talk today. -p- is going to hit all the ports. I do -t5 for threaded 5, which makes it go a little bit faster. Then we can drop the IP, -v for verbose. Now this is not going to enumerate any details about the services. It's just going to tell us what ports are open. Once I know what ports are open, I run a second scan to enumerate some of the details, honestly, just to save time. I can see it's only port 5922, so I'm not going to wait for this to finish. You can see it looks like it would take, well, apparently longer than one would think. Usually it's just like 2 minutes, but we know those are the 2 ports, 5922. So then what I do is Nmap -p. I manually specify the ports, and you can do stuff with auto recon to automate what I'm doing. Whoops. And then I do -a. Capital A means an aggressive scan. That means throw everything we have at it. Let's see what details we can get. You probably wouldn't use that on an actual pen test or red team engagement because it's noisy, but for stuff like this, it works well. -v for verbose. And let's see what service information we have on it. I'm going to get a drink of water while this finishes. Get the popcorn out of my mouth. Do 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 do. Hey. Scroll up. So here's what we see. We can see that we have SSH running on port 22. That is normal. We have some service information on it. Usually SSH isn't something you can attack, but if you find creds, then you can authenticate through SSH. And then we have VNC protocol 3.8. So if I was doing a box, what I would do is look up VNC 3.8, see if there's any exploits available, see if we can brute force it, which is obviously what we are going to do. Let's keep reading. We want an automated way to try the common passwords or the entries from a word list. Here comes THC Hydra. Is that on Parrot? Should we find out? Oh, yes, it is. Beautiful. Okay. You can learn more. Hydra is really cool. You can use Hydra to brute force like WordPress logins, post requests, things like that. The syntax is a little bit confusing at first, but once you get it figured out, it is a really powerful tool. If you have like Burp Suite Pro, you can use Burp Suite Pro to do it. But if you just have Burp Suite Community Edition, it's super rate limited. So you can't really brute force much stuff with the Community Edition unless you do some Leet Python scripting. Then I think you can. The general command line syntax is the following: Hydra -L username -P is our wordlist.txt. That's our password word list. Our server, so that's going to be our IP, and the service we are brute forcing. We have this, word list. We already talked through that. Service and service. Consider the following concrete examples. So we have Hydra -L. Mark is the name of our user. -P, here is our word list, rockyou.txt. There's our IP, and we are brute forcing SSH. Here's another example. Mark, same thing, SSH. That way is identical to the previous example, since that is the same as SSH that. You can replace SSH with another protocol name, such as RDP, VNC, that's what we're going to do, FTP, POP3, or any other protocol supported by Hydra. There are some extra optional arguments that you can add. -V or -V and capital V for verbose makes Hydra show the username and password combinations being tried. This verbosity is very convenient to see the progress, especially if you still need to be more confident in your command line syntax. I love verbose because I'm impatient and I want to make sure my computer's actually working and not just being lazy. -D for debugging provides more detailed information about what's happening. The debugging output can save you much frustration. For instance, if Hydra tries to connect to a closed port and timing out, -D will reveal this immediately. In the terminal window below, we use Hydra to find the password of the username Alexander that allows access via SSH. Over in the Twitch chat, Slendyman said plus and makes you look more like a hacker with the text on the terminal. Absolutely, man. When that text is just flowing through, I definitely feel much more like a hacker. That's a good point. Especially if people are watching you in public and you want to amaze them with your elite hacking skills. That's the way to do it. Okay, in the terminal window below, we use Hydra to find the password of the username Alexander that allows access via SSH. So you can see we have Hydra -L, our username Alexander, -P. We have the direction to where the word list is. SSH is the protocol we're exploiting, our IP, and -V for verbose mode. And you can see it's attempting each one of these, and we can finally see, hey, we were successful with Sakura or whatever that is. You can experiment by repeating the same command on the attack box terminal. The password of the username Alexander was found to be Sakura, the 114th in the RockU password list. Well, let's go ahead and do that just for fun. And maybe you've never used Hydra, so let's just give you an idea of what this looks like. Can I make this a little bit smaller? There we go. Let me kind of go like that just so I can see the syntax there. We could copy and paste it, but it's always good to type it just so you learn what you're doing, right? So we're specifying Hydra -L, and we're going to specify our username that we want to brute force. Often you can find the username if there's a public facing website. Maybe you're looking at accounts on there, anything to get username enumeration, and you get a list of usernames to try this on. And then our rockyou.txt, we're already in the folder, so we don't need to specify the full path. So we can just type rockyou.txt, and we are doing SSH. So we'll do SSH like that. 10.10.116.134-V for verbose mode. And I probably need to get the correct IP. Unknown service. Okay. Maybe we have to do SSH. We have to do it the other way. Let's try it the other way. Maybe the attack box is set up a little bit differently than how my parent OS box is set up. So if we do it that way, and let's try SSH like that. Come on. I'm on the VPN, right? Let's say Hydra, blah, blah, unknown service. Oh, let's try the service first then. So let's try SSH first. Go here, and here's why it's helpful to use your own VM. It helps troubleshoot things like this, and you learn while you're troubleshooting. Okay, many SSH configs limit the number of parallel tasks. It's recommended to use the task. I need at least the E, P, or P or X option to have some passwords. Oh, I forgot dash. Oh, I'm dumb. How silly of me. See, guys, I'm telling you, when I stream, I miss obvious things. That's funny. Let's see what happens. And this is the powerful thing about Hydra, right? It's fast. So we'll see how long it takes. Let's see, looking at the chat. Sean Zepp said dash capital P. Yep. Slendymate said missing dash P. And then Slendy said, happened to me today too. And Sean Zepp said, that's why you got a backup team. Yeah, you guys think OffSec is cool if I just stream my OSCP attempt on Twitch and you guys can be like my phone a friend? I'm sure they'd be totally fine with it, right? All right, should be getting there. 114th on the list. It's broken. Huh. There we go. Come on. I believe in you. There we go. There, it found it. See, it didn't take too long. So we have our login and our password Sakura. So it worked once, you know, I missed the P even staring at it. I tell you what, it's not my night tonight. Okay. In TryHackMe tasks, we expect any attack to finish within less than 5 minutes. However, the attack would usually take longer in real-life scenarios. And in real-life scenarios, you can often harness the power of cloud computing. So you can like pay a certain amount of money to use a cloud computer with a much stronger CPU and GPU, and you can do stuff that way, especially hash cracking. It's helpful for that. Options for verbosity or debugging can be helpful if you want Hydra to update you about its progress or if you are blind and miss capital P. Connecting to a VNC server. Many clients can be used to connect to a VNC server. I'm looking at Sean Zepp. He said, I finished Linux Prefix Capstone with no help today, so I'm feeling bold, but not OSCP bold. Honestly, that's pretty impressive. I did, let's see, did you do it on Hack the Box? I know Hack the Box has a pretty sweet, or Hack the Box Academy has a pretty nice Linux Prefix course and Capstone. So if you did that without help, that's impressive. Keep up the good work, my friend. CHM, okay, even that's good as well. I'm trying to think if I've done that or not. I think I have. It's probably just a while ago, but either way, excellent job. Connecting to a VNC server. Many clients can be used to connect to a VNC server. If you are connecting from the attack box, we recommend using Remmina. This is what I always use on my Kali box. I wonder if it's on paired or not. To start Remmina, or Remmina, I don't know, from the applications menu, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if we need to install it. Oh, it comes pre-installed? I don't think it comes pre-installed on Kali. I remember having to install it on Kali, but it comes pre-installed on Parrot OS. So that's 1 point for Parrot. Blah, blah, blah. We need to select VNC protocol and type the IP address of the target system as shown below. Okay. Change that to VNC. Go like that. Hit enter. Enter the VNC password. Use Hydra to find the VNC password of the target with the IP address of that. What is the password? Well, friends, let's actually close this out and let's see if we can find the password. So we don't really have a user for VNC. So I wonder if we can leave that blank. So we'll do -P like that, rocku.txt. We'll change this to VNC. And let's see if that works for us. At least I would assume that's how you do it. while that does its thing, let's just glance at the other questions. What are we going to be looking for? So we'll find the password for VNC. Using VNC in an attack box, we'll connect to it. We'll see the flag written on the screen. And then we have some suggested rooms that we can check out if we're interested in them. So let's let this do its thing. It says it should complete in less than 5 minutes. I wonder how long this one will take. I've never brute forced VNC, I don't think. I'd assume I'm doing it right. X Hydra. I should have mentioned that. X Hydra is like a GUI for Hydra. I honestly haven't looked at it much. My friend Nate told me about it, and I knew nothing about it. So this whole time I was trying to do Hydra from the terminal. Apparently Hydra has this GUI that can help you out when you do it. And it looks like we could have used X Hydra to find VNC. But so you have Hydra-S 5900 to note destination port number. Oh, I wonder if we needed to do that. I think VNC is generally on port 5900 though. I wonder if we'll need to do that. If it's generally on that port. Yeah, it's generally on that port, so you don't have to specify it. Hydra should know that. And yeah, so we did -P. Our passwords, we could have done -T 16. I suppose that's 16 threads to make it go a little bit faster. Or run tasks, number of tasks in parallel. We have our IP and VNC. We just did that syntax a little bit different, but should work. Oh. There it is. I suppose you could schedule it to stop on success. So it should be done now, right? Did I get that copied? Yeah. All right, let's try that. Remmina. Oh, sorry if you guys heard Parrot like squeak at me. And let's go ahead and do I have the IP? The password. I'm going to throw the password in handy dandy my RuneScape notepad there. And now let's go re-grab the IP from Hack the Box. OX Clay Hack said VNC viewer works great, by the way. I'll have to check that out sometime. Let's go back to this and let's just grab our IP. And now we can go back to Remmina. We already have VNC pulled up. We'll do that. And then it asks for our password. I believe that's our password. Boom, and we got connected. THM, I see your screen. There is our flag. So let's go back to here. And I guess I can do the password as well. THM, I see your screen. I think that's what it was. There we go. And the password that we cracked is right here. Let's drop that there. And if you want to check out those rooms, go ahead if you so choose. But ladies and gentlemen, we are done with day number 5 of Advent of Cyber. Thank you again for taking the time out of your evening or your morning, depending on your time zone, to hang out with me. I truly do see it as an honor. If you ever miss any of these, you can catch them all on my YouTube page. I'll drop it just for those of you who may not be subscribed to me on YouTube. Here's shameless self-promotion. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I do more than just streams on there. I interview people. I've had the honor of interviewing John Hammond, Matt Kiley, aka Husky Hacks. I'm interviewing Heath, the CEO and founder of TCM Security, next week, I believe. So subscribe to me on YouTube. That's where I post all these recordings after the fact. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. When I'm done with the OSCP, I will be doing longer streams. Like I used to stream for 2-3 hours long. Right now, I'm just not, because the OSCP is a few days away. I'm focused on studying for that, and honestly taking some time off from studying just to get myself ready for that exam and relax a little bit. But thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I will be back tomorrow night, and we will do day 6 together. I will see you guys then. See ya.